the new wave of professional wrestling, Capital Wrestling.
I don't know, I mean, just every day fans are yelling at me on Twitter, wrestlers are complaining about results and matches. I just feel like every day it's the same thing over and over again. I mean, every show I come out, I try to, greet my people to the adulation that I deserve. I try to start a nice show and then violence ensues and the whole thing goes off the rails. I mean, it's like I'm living the same thing over and over again.
You can't be reliving the same day over and over again. It's not possible.
What other explanation could there be? The same things keep happening show after show. In every show, Juba and Smiley somehow lead with those tag team championships. Every show, David Lee manages to say something stupid to make me angry. There can't be another explanation other than I must be reliving the same day over and over again.
Maybe you have just been poisoned by society's toxic masculinity.
Maybe you had a stroke.
For the last time, Spider, it's not a stroke. I'll give you a stroke if you don't shut up.
Well, sir, if you think you're reliving the same day over and over, that must be what's happening. Only a mind as brilliant as yours could ever play tricks on itself. Ah.
Thank you, Zach. Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. But we have to do something to fix that. That's why I scheduled the show for February 2nd, Groundhog Day. So we can finally change this, end this, and break the cycle once and for all.
Harry? Harry Treginian. It's me, your partner from Capital Wrestling.
Yeah, I know what you're doing, Steve, and I don't appreciate it, okay?
I know you don't remember me, but I sure as heck fire remember you.
I see what you're doing here. You're making fun of me, huh? Is that what it is? You're trying to make fun? Is that what it is? Trying to make a joke out of this?
I just wanted to reintroduce myself, seeing as you haven't paid me in about 3 weeks.
Okay, you know what? That is all being taken care of. I told you that. Now, if you don't mind, this is an important meeting that you are not designated for.
They're gonna take my thumbs.
Okay, you know what? This is exactly the reason I did not invite you to this. So I don't know how you found out about this.
Sorry, I must have left my email open.
Okay, it doesn't matter. I don't need your negative energy ruining this for me. So why don't you scram? Beat it. Go. Get lost.
I got brunch plans anyway.
Okay, so why are you saying all this in the first place?
I need each and every one of you to step up your game. Okay? Spider, I'm gonna need you to shine up those tag team championships because I have a plan that's gonna ensure Juba and Smiley don't leave with those titles again.
I'll make them sparkle like the sun, sir.
Zach, I'm gonna need you to come up with your most unique, most original, most creative idea yet. Something that will leave everybody in the wrestling world talking.
Oh, Mr. Treginian, what I'm gonna do for you is gonna be amazing. I'm gonna blow people's minds. An announcement of a caliber never before seen in a Capital Wrestling ring. You have my word.
Excellent. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Portia, I'm gonna need you to make your own decisions because you're a woman and you're more than capable of doing that by yourself, and I'm sure they'll be fantastic. Yes. February 2nd. This will be a turning point in the history of Capital Wrestling, in which Capital Wrestling will never be the same again. Because on February 2nd, Groundhog Day, everybody better watch their step.
Harry? Harry Treginian?
Son of a...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Capital Wrestling. I'm Stephen James, and we are on the road to historic episode number 100. And what better way to kick off Capital Wrestling's road to episode number 100 than Mr. Entertainment, Harry Treginian. Let's go ringside.
He'll be back later. We want the sheriff! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another one of Capital Wrestling's amazing and entertaining events under my entertaining regime here at Capital Wrestling. And I want to let you know that we've made a lot of advancements. We're going to be on the RNN network in New York. We're going to be available to millions of people in New York. We're in China. We're in Zimbabwe. And it's all thanks to me, quite frankly. I negotiated all those deals. But you see, to do those things, I need a company to have a certain stature, to maintain a certain quality, which is part of why I made certain acquisitions here, like bringing on my head of talent development, Zach Amico, who will be here tonight scouting some of the new talent here at Capital Wrestling. Isn't that right, Zach?
Yes, indeed, Mr. Treginian. I will be here at ringside, watching each and every competitor to see if they are up to being under your glorious employment. One more time for Mr. Treginian, everyone!
I feel like I'm going to hear everybody applauding, but that's fine. That's neither here nor there. I got to take care of some housekeeping. You see, again, I've been getting a lot of pushback from some of the rocks here at Capital Wrestling, and you know, some changes are going to be made. Some people stay, some people go. Now, these three gentlemen, I'm about to bring out, I use that term loosely, gentlemen, I have a lot of issues with. And, you know, if I could fire them, which I can, now, I won't. You know why? Because I want to be a benevolent leader, which is why I decided to give another opportunity here for open dialogue with Chris Cotton from Comedy Central. So rather than fire these three men, I want them to come out and take part in another open dialogue session. Bring out Sonny Kiss, bring out Chuck Payne, bring out Gangone right now.
We're going to have another open dialogue here. We've seen how the first few have happened. All three of these men scheduled to face off against each other. Chris Cotton here open some dialogue.
Right now, you know what? I get it.
He's a wrestling god.
Come on, Gangone. I get it. You're angry, but you ain't ready to roll. You shouldn't be angry. That Harry over there, he's a great leader. He brought me in so we can all talk it out, have a little open dialogue. So I'm going to line. First of all, you're a big guy, so I can tell you got a big heart. So let's have a little discussion. Okay, Sonny, how you feeling, Sonny? So what we'll do is we'll have a discussion. What do you think I can, so let me go to Paisano. Let's go. So what do you think this company can do to help make it better for y'all guys? Let's have a little open dialogue.
Who are you again?
Okay, now again, let's have a little open dialogue. How do you make things?
For the record, I don't have a problem with Chuck, nor do I have a problem with Anthony. We both, well, all three of us, we have a problem with you.
Oh, Sonny Kiss laying down the law early here.
I get it, right? They have a lot of things brewing inside. So what we'll do is we'll remove ourselves and we'll let you handle things the way you possibly can. And sometimes you gotta let life take. I'll get out of here. You figure it out. All right, thank you. Okay.
It looks like open dialogue fails again. When we come back, it's triple threat action. Anthony Gangone versus Sonny Kiss and Chuck Payne.
Are you in need of a lawyer who will fight for you? Well, EDA Law will go off the top rope for you and your needs. Pro wrestling veteran Eric Anderson has brought his no-nonsense approach from the ring to the courtroom. The New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer and his team focuses on business law, criminal defense, and representing members of the pro wrestling industry. For more information, head on over to edalaw.com. That's edalaw.com. EDA Law, for those in the law who wrestled, know how to wrestle the law.
This week's edition of Capital Wrestling Television is brought to you by the home of the Capital Wrestling Podcast, the El Toro Podcast Network. Whether it's Capital Wrestling, the world of professional wrestling, or the world of informational technology, El Toro's Podcast has you covered. Follow them on Twitter at El Toro's Podcast, or subscribe right now on Google Podcast, SoundCloud, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher Radio, Podbay FM, or on Apple Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Capital Wrestling.
I'm Mr. Entertainment, Harry Treginian, joined alongside my colleague, Stephen James.
What an absolute nightmare. Open dialogue again, not going so well for Chris Cotton and Big Al.
You know what? I don't blame Chris Cotton on this. I'm going to tell you right now. I blame Anthony Gangone. I blame the three men in the ring right now. Sonny Kiss, Anthony Gangone, and Chuck Payne.
How are you going to blame three of the top competitors here in Sonny Kiss, Chuck Payne, and Anthony Gangone? How are you going to blame them for this?
They're uncivilized bastards. That's what they are.
Well, watch your language.
Well,
drop kick trying to send Chuck Payne to the outside. And Anthony Gangone trying to rile the fans up here. You got to remember, Sonny and Chuck were teammates at World War IV. But with that over, both men look to earn their way into title contention.
And a phenomenal maneuver right there from Sonny Kiss.
But in the triple threat, you have to be careful. You got to watch out. No rest for the wicked. Sonny Kiss caught. Went for that flying crossbody. Lifted up from a fallaway slam position into a vertical suplex. Chuck Payne, the perfect mix of size and athleticism, proving that on recent episodes of Capital Wrestling, including World War IV, where his team was victorious, in spite of your edict that they would be fired if they didn't do it.
Don't remind me of that. I still think about that.
Catching Sonny Kiss, went for the powerbomb, but Kiss falls out. And Chuck Payne still with the clothesline. Cover, too close to the ropes. Senior official Mike Keener was there to see it. Flying knee from Gangone.
And look at the height on that. And again, I don't take away from any of the athleticism that these three men have here. It's their attitudes that I take umbrage with, Stephen. Oh, and look at those chops.
And you see Anthony Gangone still wearing that shoulder brace. You have to remember, he put his body on the line, separating his shoulder and popping it back into place twice during that matchup against Bo Crockett at the Colossal Confrontation.
And Sonny Kiss taking control. Maybe that explains why Gangone has been so angry as of late.
Oh, look, both men trying to take down the bigger Payne. Both covering one.
Oh, and there you go. See? Unable to play ball. This is what I'm talking about.
Unable to play ball. They're all competing for the right to win this matchup, Harry.
Well, yes, of course. Why wouldn't they? They're competing. They're competing for the right to impress me, to be quite honest.
You heard that slap, not to impress you at all.
Well, they should be. I mean, I'm the owner here at Capital Wrestling, and look at that.
I know, you tell us all the time. Flying head scissors.
And Sonny Kiss, again, amazing athleticism.
Former Capital Wrestling champion there. A little bit of showmanship there, concluding with the slap. Kick right on the jaw. Another cover, 1, 2.
And look at this, Sonny taking.
Fight fans, prepare for the new wave of professional wrestling. Capital Wrestling brings you all of the hard-hitting and high-flying action every week for free on Fight. From the Concrete Rose Sonny Kiss to the Dark Heart Ken Dixon to Capital Champion Matt McIntosh. You won't miss a moment from the Capitol. Be sure to download the Fight app in the iOS and Google App Stores, as well as Amazon, Apple TV, and your favorite gaming console. Capitol Wrestling. Catch the new wave.
Want more Capital Wrestling content? Then look no further than our Instagram. Follow @Capital Wrestling today and see every moment the Capital has to offer, as well as match announcements, merchandise deals, and more. Come to the Capital and follow our Instagram today.
Sonny Kiss in a terrible position.
Package knee breaker. I'm sorry. Cover. 1, 2. Broken up by Chuck Payne.
2 says referee Mike
I don't think
Keener.
I've ever seen that before.
Well, that's the beauty.
That's the beauty of Anthony Gangone. He may be the best pure wrestler in Capital Wrestling. Remember, he started his career here in Capital Wrestling undefeated.
Yeah, but what has he done lately?
Ooh, what he's done lately is, in spite of everything, put his body on the line, like I mentioned, and got no credit for it. Especially not from the likes of you. Looking for a double suplex here. Chuck Payne getting them both up and over.
And the strength on that.
Getting both grown men.
You see, in the ring, Chuck Payne, he's a machine. He's a monster in there. But if he would just listen to me behind the scenes,
I think he's doing just fine. Sidewalk slam there. Winning World War IV, along with his partners. Cover. 1, 2. Perhaps a folly there, not hooking the leg, Chuck Payne, but going right back to it.
See, that's some of the things he could learn if he was patient. I have so much to teach these young guys. It's just their hubris. That's the problem, Steven.
Wait a minute.
Oh, what is this?
We've seen stuff like this from Chuck Payne before. Going up top. Oh, but Sonny Kiss counters.
And
Chuck
look at
Payne
that.
Teetering.
Oh, look at this.
Springboard. Flipped over. And a splash cover.
For the cover. 1, 2, 3.
He got it. Just in time.
Here is your winner, the one above all, Anthony Gangone.
The wrestling god, who has come up short in title opportunities in the past, having the TV title stolen out from under him by the Danger Sanctuary, now winning this huge triple threat matchup. You had to wonder, with a win here, could Sonny have maybe gotten a title shot on April 7th at Ready or Not? But that's not in the cards, perhaps.
Well, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Anthony Gangone is the one who comes out victorious here.
Look at the show of respect between both of these men.
Well, I sure wish they showed me some respect, to be quite honest with you.
And what a fantastic matchup here on Capital Wrestling. We'll be right back.
It's time for the fabulous finish of the week, sponsored by To Be the Man.
Going up top.
Oh, no.
Looking for it. Splash. Got it now. Cover. 1, 2. This could be it. 3. Yes. Take that, Harry Treginian. Take that, Team Entertainment. Ronnie Nicole is now the #1 contender for Ariel and Nix's Women's Championship.
That was the fabulous finish, sponsored by To Be the Man, available on Amazon.com. Are you in need of a lawyer who will fight for you? Well, EDA Law will go off the top rope for you and your needs. Pro wrestling veteran Eric Anderson has brought his no-nonsense approach from the ring to the courtroom. The New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer and his team focuses on business law, criminal defense, and representing members of the pro wrestling industry. For more information, head on over to edalaw.com. That's edalaw.com. EDA Law, for those in the law who wrestled, know how to wrestle the law.
This week's edition of Capital Wrestling Television is brought to you by the home of the Capital Wrestling Podcast, the El Toro Podcast Network. Whether it's Capital Wrestling, the world of professional wrestling, or the world of informational technology, El Toro's Podcast has you covered. Follow them on Twitter at El Toro's Podcast, or subscribe right now on Google Podcast, SoundCloud, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher Radio, Podbay FM, or on Apple Podcast.
Want to watch every single episode of Capital Wrestling Television? Miss an episode of the Capital Wrestling Podcast? Don't fret, because the Capital Wrestling YouTube channel has all that and more. YouTube.com/Capital Wrestling is your hub for all things Capital.
Fight fans, prepare for the new wave of professional wrestling. Capital Wrestling brings you all of the hard-hitting and high-flying action every week for free on Fight. From the Concrete Rose Sonny Kiss to the Dark Heart Ken Dixon to Capital Champion Matt McIntosh, you won't miss a moment from the Capital. Be sure to download the Fight app in the iOS and Google App Stores, as well as Amazon, Apple TV, and your favorite gaming console. Capital Wrestling. Catch the new wave.
Citizens of the Capitol, Zane Decker here at the Capitol Control Center. In 2 weeks on episode 100 of Capitol Wrestling, we will have a major announcement that will change the landscape of the Capitol forever. And believe me, this is no exaggeration. This will be the real deal. And speaking of the real deal, Capitol Wrestling Women's Champion has taken exception to the moniker that seems to be floating around on social media, referring to her championship run as the Reign of Terror. The challenger to the Women's Championship, Nyla Rose, has even called it the Reign of Terrible. We caught up with the champion and Portia Vaughn ahead of her title defense, and I've been instructed by Miss Vaughn to let all of you watching at home know that this is a trigger warning.
This is a trigger warning for all of my fellow #Femivists out there. Take this warning, my goddesses, and wear it on your chest. We are still not being listened to. We are still seen as secondary, and we are still seen as whispers when we are full force hurricane winds. Be vigilant, be aware, and most of all, be intimidating. Have men catcall us, and we will dog walk them back to their place. Have men stab us in the back, and we will decapitate your masculine spirit. And have men try to blow out our candle, and it will only make our inner light shine brighter. And oh, does light shine brightest when it is reflected against gold. Which the answer to your prayers, Miss Ariella Nix already has as Capital Wrestling's Women's Champion. And as for next week, here's a trigger warning for all that support Nyla Rose. She will fail.
My actions, they speak louder than words. You guys will see next week.
Will the returning native beast, Nyla Rose, end the Reign of Terror? Or will Ariella Nix retain her gold by hook or by crook? Find out next week on Capital Wrestling, and keep it locked here at the Capital Control Center for all of your updates.
And welcome back to Capital Wrestling. I'm Mr. Entertainment, Harry Treginian, and as you can see, Anthony Gangone celebrating. And, well, Zach Amico, the head of talent development here, who's been out scouting, he's quite impressed, apparently, by this match. And
both Chuck Payne and Anthony Gangone still here, commandeering the ring here.
Well, look, it happens. Chuck, he unfortunately came up short in this match. I'm sure he's very aggravated by it. He's quite upset. I guess he's upset about everything. But you know what?
Coming over here.
What's up? Well, that's Zach Amico. He's the head of talent development. Yeah. Well, all right, look, listen, you lost the match. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Wait a minute. What does he have there?
No, Chuck, don't do that. Don't do that. Chuck, do not
Chuck
do that.
Chuck Payne with a
Hey, wait a minute.
With a staple gun there.
Wait a minute, Chuck, don't you do that. Chuck, don't you. No, what are you doing?
Harry Treginian trying to reason with Chuck Payne.
Tell you something. You do that and you will be fired, okay? All right? Don't play around here. I'm not playing around, Chuck. All right, know who you're messing with.
Don't do it.
You like to get forward here, right? So, what I'm going to say is, you should really read between the lines.
And a little sign language, and oh my God, staple gunning the face of Zach Amico. Oh my God, look at the face, driving those staples into his head. And Zach Amico taking off. What a horrifying moment, but that's what happens when you push men too far. Both Anthony Gangone and Chuck Payne sending a message to Harry Treginian and his crew. The entertainment era is on notice.
You thought I was dead. It's what you wanted to do. You tried to bury me, but I'ma bury you. You could have finished the job, but you left me alive. You had your chance and you blew it. Now you're gonna die. I bet you thought I was dead the night the rock god fell, but I'm still alive, and I'ma drag you to hell. You won't remember dying. You can't see the end. I'ma drag you to